Hello everybody, this is Backblast. Here I am again on Chester Zoo build of Planet Zoo, and today we're going to be building an enclosure over here. So if you know the zoo at all, we're close to the bat encounter, and the were these the tapirs? I think there's tapirs in there, and this is capybara, and there's some small apes over here, and this is where we're going to be building. So we're going to be doing this area, so it's quite a large area we're going to be building in here. What I've done is a very small amount of initial work, so I've measured how far the various bits of the enclosure go to, and then I've built this brick wall. So this brick wall here is a long straight line, which is going to be the back wall of the enclosure. So that's the size of the enclosure, all the way up to the top, all the way down here, and that'll be it. And this is for well, it's Andean black bears, or as they're also known, spectacled bears. So there's again, we've got a problem with not having spectacled bears in the game. So although Chester Zoo does have spectacled bears in here, or they call them Andean Bears, the bears from the Andes in South America, the closest I've got is the Formosan black bear. So I had a choice of 3 different bears. There was the Himalayan bear, which lives in cold areas of the Himalayas. We've got the grizzly bear, which lives in sort of very cold, or certainly towards the colder end of North America, up in the northwest corner there, and also obviously polar bears, which are from a very cold area. The spectacled bears that we want to build actually live in the Andes, but they tend to live quite high up in the mountains, and they tend to like more of a humid area, and they generally like a warmer, kind of a subtropical type area. Whereas the closest I've got is the Formosan black bear. So the black bear obviously comes from a slightly warmer climate than most of the other bears in game. And I think actually looks quite a bit like the bears that we're trying to get in here. So these Andean bears are going to live in this particular square there. There we are, this massive area, and it's going to be quite a build, this one. So I'm going to have to speed it up. It won't be one of the ones that I'll be jibber jabbering throughout, but I might pop in and just say the odd word, depending on if there's anything interesting happens. It'll be an interesting build. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll speak to you towards the end of the video. Well, there you have it, folks. That's the end of the build for today, and I hope that you like the build. It's a pretty good representation of the area in Chester Zoo. As we already know, the bears aren't quite right. They're supposed to be Andean Bears, or they're also known as Spctacled Bears, and we've had to use the Formosan Bears in there. But I think the actual enclosure looks fairly accurate. We've got the water along the front, and we've got quite a lot of undergrowth along this front bit, and we've managed to get the barriers pretty good there, and the viewing sight lines through the various bits, and I think that's fairly accurate. I think that's probably a fair representation there. There's a couple of things in it that aren't actually there. Obviously, we always put lots of the feeders and the toys in there, which you might not always see when you're wandering around the zoo, but we'd like to keep the animals up the front, so you will see that a lot of the toys and things are right at the front where the people can see them. Like the bears, I like the way the bears run through the bushes as well, which is pretty good. That cardboard box isn't going to last long in water, is it? Yeah, so the fact that you can put a lot of undergrowth in and it doesn't restrict where the bears can go, I quite like that. It means they've still got a large area to play around in, and it gives it a nice undergrowth feel as well, which is pretty good. The one thing that's been put in that isn't actually in the real zoo is the sleeping area. So this part of the enclosure is pretty secluded from the public. There's a small sight line through here if you're in the actual zoo looking around there. It's very small, and you can't see anything from round here at all. So in order to satisfy the bears' requirement for some shelter, I decided to put a little den at this end. So that's not entirely accurate. I suspect that this is used as a den, and that there are entrances for the bears at a low level down here, the little bear hatches, and I think they probably go through into sleeping quarters in here, but it's difficult to tell from the information that I've got. The other thing that's quite difficult to work out is what's going on up here. I believe there's some quite tall trees up there. I've also seen other pictures where there are poles in there, and I'm not convinced that the poles are still there, but we've tried to recreate what we can make out from the pictures that we've already got. So there you go. So that's our new bear enclosure, and it ties in nicely to this area here. We've got a large area here to do. There's at least a couple of enclosure bits here. There's one enclosure pretty much where the monorail line runs here, and then the rest of this is small monkeys, I believe. And there's a couple of small buildings, and there's a play area up here which we need to do at some point. But that's pretty good. It's got the nice theming. It ties in nicely with that one, and also now it ties in nicely with the other area here. So we've got a bit to do here to sort of bring it all together as well, but it is coming on nicely. As is the whole zoo. The whole zoo is looking pretty good. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope that you like the channel. Please let me know in the comments if there's anything you want me to do, or there's something that you're aware of that I haven't done quite right. So, you know, there are things that sometimes I have to guess at, but you guys might know the actual answer, or you might have recently been to the zoo, or you might be going to the zoo and can actually go and have a look at something and maybe get photos of it for me. All these things are great. If you do like the channel, please think about subscribing. It's free to subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing, but it does help me. It allows me to get more and more viewers coming to the channel, as do thumbs up. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, please tell me why. Leave comments in the comments, or if you do like the video, please leave comments in the comments. I answer all the comments that people give. And that's it for me. Bears. We have bears frolicking around and swimming, and it looks pretty good. That's it for me for today. My name's Backblast. I'll catch you next time.